Imagine the incredible journey of a single human life, from the first cries of infancy to the wisdom of old age. Each stage is a fascinating chapter filled with growth, challenges, and milestones. Today, we're diving deep into the captivating world of developmental psychology, exploring lifespan development, key theories, and the profound influences of attachment and parenting. Buckle up for an insightful ride through the stages of life. Welcome back to our series on developmental psychology. In this lecture, we will explore lifespan development from infancy to old age, delving into the key theories of Jean Piaget and Erik Erikson. We'll also examine how attachment and parenting styles influence personality and behavior, and we'll take a closer look at adolescent development, identity formation, peer influence, and risk-taking behavior. Let's start with Jean Piaget's stages of cognitive development. Piaget, a Swiss psychologist, proposed that children move through 4 distinct stages of cognitive growth. These stages are the sensoromotor stage, the pre-operational stage, the concrete operational stage, and the formal operational stage. In the sensoromotor stage, which lasts from birth to about 2 years old, infants learn about the world through their senses and actions. They develop object permanence, the understanding that objects continue to exist even when they can't be seen. This is a crucial milestone in cognitive development. For example, when playing peekaboo, a baby begins to understand that the person is still there even when hidden behind hands. During this stage, babies engage in simple reflexes such as sucking and grasping. As they grow, they start to develop more complex behaviors like coordinating their hand movements to reach and grasp objects. They also begin to experiment with their environment, learning through trial and error. For instance, a baby might accidentally knock over a toy and then repeatedly do it to see the effect. Parents and caregivers can support this stage of development by providing a stimulating environment with plenty of opportunities for sensory exploration. Activities like tummy time, where babies lie on their stomachs and lift their heads, can help strengthen their neck and shoulder muscles. Providing a variety of toys with different textures, shapes, and colors can also encourage sensory exploration and motor development. Next is the pre-operational stage from ages 2 to 7. During this period, children start to use language to explore and understand their worlds. However, their thinking is still very intuitive and egocentric. They struggle with understanding other perspectives. A classic example is the 3 mountains task, where a child assumes that what they see is what everyone else sees. In this stage, children engage in symbolic play and learn to manipulate symbols, but they don't yet understand concrete logic. For example, a child might use a broomstick as a horse during playtime. They also develop a sense of animism, believing that inanimate objects have feelings and intentions. For instance, a child might think that the sun is following them or that their teddy bear feels sad when left alone. Children in the pre-operational stage often engage in magical thinking, where they believe their thoughts or actions can influence the world around them. For example, a child might think that they caused a rainstorm by thinking about it. This type of thinking reflects their developing understanding of cause and effect. Parents and educators can support children in this stage by encouraging imaginative play and providing opportunities for them to express themselves through art, storytelling, and role-playing. Asking open-ended questions and encouraging children to explain their thinking can also help them develop their reasoning skills. Moving on to the concrete operational stage, from ages 7 to 11, children begin to think logically about concrete events. They gain a better understanding of the concept of conservation, the idea that quantity remains the same despite changes in shape or appearance. For instance, when shown 2 equal amounts of liquid in different shaped containers, children in this stage can recognize that the amount of liquid remains the same. Children in this stage also develop the ability to classify objects and understand relationships among them. They can perform mathematical operations and understand the concept of reversibility, which is the ability to recognize that numbers or objects can be changed and returned to their original condition. For example, they understand that if you add and then subtract the same number, you get back to the starting point. During the concrete operational stage, children's thinking becomes more logical and organized, but it is still very concrete. They can solve problems that involve concrete objects and situations, but they may struggle with abstract or hypothetical concepts. For example, they might have difficulty understanding a problem that involves imagining a scenario that has never happened. Parents and educators can support children in this stage by providing hands-on learning experiences that involve concrete objects and real-life situations. Activities like cooking, building projects, and science experiments can help children apply their logical thinking skills to practical tasks. Encouraging children to explain their reasoning and think through problems step by step can also help them develop their logical thinking skills. Finally, we have the formal operational stage, which begins around age 12 and continues into adulthood. At this stage, individuals develop the ability to think about abstract concepts and engage in logical thought and deductive reasoning. Adolescents can now tackle hypothetical problems and use systematic ways to solve them. This ability marks the transition to more complex and sophisticated thinking. During the formal operational stage, individuals can think about moral, philosophical, ethical, social, and political issues that require theoretical and abstract reasoning. They can formulate hypotheses and consider possibilities, think about future consequences, and solve problems systematically. For instance, a teenager might ponder abstract concepts like justice or freedom and engage in discussions about their implications in society. Adolescents in this stage also develop the ability to think about their own thinking, a concept known as metacognition. They can reflect on their thought processes, evaluate their reasoning, and consider how they learn best. This ability allows them to develop more effective study strategies and improve their problem-solving skills. Parents and educators can support adolescents in this stage by encouraging them to engage in discussions about abstract concepts and current events, providing opportunities for them to explore different perspectives and think critically about complex issues can help them develop their reasoning and problem-solving skills. Encouraging adolescents to set goals, plan for the future, and reflect on their progress can also help them develop their metacognitive skills. Now let's turn our attention to Erik Erikson's psychosocial stages. Erikson, a German-American psychologist, proposed 8 stages of psychosocial development, each characterized by a specific conflict that must be resolved. The first stage, trust versus mistrust, occurs in infancy, birth to 18 months. During this time, infants learn to trust their caregivers to meet their needs. If caregivers are reliable and affectionate, the child develops a sense of trust. For instance, a baby who is consistently fed and comforted will feel secure in their environment. Infants who develop a sense of trust feel safe and secure in the world. They are more likely to explore their environment and develop healthy relationships later in life. On the other hand, infants who do not develop a sense of trust may become fearful and anxious, struggling with relationships and a sense of security. Caregivers can support the development of trust by being responsive to their infant's needs, providing consistent care and creating a warm and nurturing environment. Holding, cuddling, and talking to the baby can help build a strong emotional bond and foster a sense of trust. In the second stage, autonomy versus shame and doubt, toddlers, 18 months to 3 years, learn to do things for themselves. Successful completion of this stage leads to a sense of autonomy. For example, a toddler who is encouraged to try new things, like dressing themselves, develops confidence in their abilities. Toddlers who develop a sense of autonomy feel confident in their abilities and are more likely to take initiative and explore their environment. On the other hand, toddlers who are overly criticized or restricted may develop a sense of shame and doubt, feeling insecure about their abilities and reluctant to try new things. Caregivers can support the development of autonomy by providing opportunities for toddlers to make choices and encouraging them to try new tasks. Offering praise and support for their efforts, even if they make mistakes, can help build their confidence and sense of independence. The third stage, initiative versus guilt, occurs in preschool children, 3 to 5 years. During this period, children begin to assert control and power over their environment through directing play and other social interactions. Success in this stage leads to a sense of initiative. For example, a child who is allowed to plan and lead a game will develop leadership skills. Children who develop a sense of initiative feel capable and confident in their ability to lead and make decisions. They are more likely to take on new challenges and pursue their interests. On the other hand, children who are overly controlled or criticized may develop a sense of guilt, feeling hesitant to take initiative and fearing they will make mistakes. Caregivers and educators can support the development of initiative by providing opportunities for children to make decisions and lead activities. Encouraging them to plan and organize their play, offering praise for their efforts, and providing a supportive environment can help build their confidence and sense of initiative. The fourth stage, industry versus inferiority, takes place during the early school years, 6 to 11 years. Children need to cope with new social and academic demands. Success leads to a sense of competence. For instance, a child who successfully completes school projects feels industrious and capable. Children who develop a sense of industry feel competent and capable of achieving their goals. They are more likely to persevere through challenges and feel confident in their abilities. On the other hand, children who struggle to meet expectations or who are overly criticized may develop a sense of inferiority, feeling inadequate and doubting their abilities. Parents and educators can support the development of industry by providing opportunities for children to succeed and offering praise and encouragement for their efforts. Creating a supportive and structured learning environment, setting achievable goals, and providing feedback can help build children's confidence and sense of competence. In adolescence, 12 to 18 years, the fifth stage, identity versus role confusion, becomes crucial. Teens explore different roles and ideas to form a personal identity. Success in this stage leads to a strong sense of self. For example, a teenager who tries different extracurricular activities and finds one they are passionate about begins to build a clear sense of identity. Adolescents who develop a strong sense of identity feel secure in who they are and what they want to achieve. They are more likely to make informed decisions about their future and build meaningful relationships. On the other hand, adolescents who struggle to form an identity may experience role confusion, feeling uncertain about their place in the world and their future. Parents and educators can support the development of identity by encouraging adolescents to explore their interests and providing opportunities for them to express themselves. Offering guidance and support as they navigate their identity formation while respecting their autonomy can help them build a strong sense of self. The sixth stage, intimacy versus isolation, occurs in young adulthood, 19 to 40 years. Young adults need to form intimate, loving relationships with other people. Success leads to strong relationships. For instance, forming a close bond with a partner or developing deep friendships can lead to fulfilling connections. Young adults who develop a sense of intimacy feel secure and connected in their relationships. They are more likely to form meaningful and lasting bonds with others. On the other hand, young adults who struggle to form intimate relationships may experience isolation, feeling lonely and disconnected from others. Building intimate relationships requires trust, communication, and mutual respect. Young adults can develop these skills through open and honest communication with their partners, friends, and family. Seeking out supportive and understanding relationships and being willing to invest time and effort into building connections can help young adults develop a sense of intimacy. The seventh stage, generativity versus stagnation, takes place during middle adulthood, 40 to 65 years. Adults need to create or nurture things that will outlast them, often by parenting children or contributing to positive changes that benefit others. Success leads to feelings of usefulness and accomplishment. For example, mentoring a younger colleague at work or volunteering in the community can foster a sense of generativity. Adults who develop a sense of generativity feel that they are contributing to the world and making a positive impact. They are more likely to feel fulfilled and satisfied with their lives. On the other hand, adults who struggle to find purpose or feel unproductive may experience stagnation, feeling disconnected and uninvolved in the world around them. Middle-aged adults can foster a sense of generativity by finding ways to contribute to their communities, whether through volunteering, mentoring, or pursuing meaningful work. Building and nurturing relationships with family and friends, and finding ways to leave a positive legacy can also help adults develop a sense of generativity. Finally, the eighth stage, integrity versus despair, occurs in late adulthood, 65 years and onward. As people reflect on their lives, those who feel a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction develop a sense of integrity. For instance, an elderly person who looks back on their life with pride in their accomplishments and contentment with their choices feels a sense of integrity. Older adults who develop a sense of integrity feel at peace with their lives and have a sense of accomplishment. They are more likely to experience a sense of well-being and acceptance of their life experiences. On the other hand, older adults who feel regret or dissatisfaction with their lives may experience despair, feeling that they have not lived up to their potential or missed opportunities. Reflecting on life experiences, finding meaning and purpose in one's achievements, and maintaining connections with loved ones can help older adults develop a sense of integrity. Engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment, and finding ways to contribute to the well-being of others can also enhance their sense of integrity. Now let's explore the influence of attachment and parenting on personality and behavior. Attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby and later expanded by Mary Ainsworth, emphasizes the importance of a secure attachment between children and their caregivers. Secure attachment forms the foundation for healthy emotional and social development. Mary Ainsworth's strange situation experiment demonstrated different attachment styles: secure, anxious, ambivalent, and avoidant. Securely attached children feel confident that their caregivers will be available to meet their needs. For example, a securely attached child will use their caregiver as a secure base from which to explore their environment. Children with anxious ambivalent attachment are often anxious and unsure if their caregiver will meet their needs. They may be clingy and less likely to explore their environment. For example, these children might be very distressed when separated from their caregiver and may not be easily comforted upon their return. Avoidant attached children seem indifferent to their caregiver's presence or absence. They may avoid or ignore the caregiver. For instance, a child with avoidant attachment might not seek comfort from the caregiver after being upset and may prefer to play alone. The development of attachment styles is influenced by the caregiver's responsiveness and sensitivity to the child's needs. Secure attachment is more likely to develop when caregivers are consistently responsive, warm, and supportive. In contrast, inconsistent or unresponsive caregiving can lead to anxious, ambivalent, or avoidant attachment styles. Parenting styles, identified by Diana Baumrind, also play a significant role in development. The four main parenting styles are authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, and uninvolved. Authoritative parenting, characterized by high responsiveness and high demands, is often associated with the best developmental outcomes. For example, children of authoritative parents tend to be more competent, self-assured, and socially adept. Authoritarian parenting, characterized by high demands but low responsiveness, can lead to children who are obedient and proficient but may have lower self-esteem and social skills. For example, children of authoritarian parents might follow rules well but struggle with decision-making and independence. Permissive parenting, characterized by high responsiveness but low demands, can result in children who are more impulsive and less disciplined. For example, children of permissive parents might have difficulty with self-control and following rules. Uninvolved parenting, characterized by low responsiveness and low demands, is associated with the worst outcomes. Children of uninvolved parents may struggle with self-esteem, self-discipline, and social competence. For instance, these children might feel neglected and have difficulty forming healthy relationships. Let's delve into adolescent development, focusing on identity, peer influence, and risk-taking. Adolescence is a critical period for identity formation, as highlighted by Erikson's stage of identity versus role confusion. During this time, teens explore different aspects of their identities, such as career aspirations, political beliefs, and sexual orientation. Peer influence becomes particularly strong during adolescence. Teens often look to their peers for acceptance and validation, which can significantly impact their behavior and decision-making. For instance, peer pressure can lead to experimentation with substances, but it can also encourage positive behaviors like academic achievement or involvement in extracurricular activities. Risk-taking behavior is another hallmark of adolescence. The combination of an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making and impulse control, and heightened sensitivity to rewards makes teens more prone to engaging in risky behaviors. For example, adolescents are more likely to take risks when driving, such as speeding or texting while driving, especially when they are with their peers. Understanding these developmental stages and factors can help us better support individuals at different stages of their lives and foster environments that promote healthy development. For instance, educators can create learning experiences that match the cognitive abilities of children at different stages, and parents can adopt parenting styles that encourage healthy emotional and social development. Let's now take a closer look at some real-life case studies to illustrate these concepts further. Case Study 1. The impact of early attachment on later relationships. Consider the case of John, a 35-year-old man who struggled with forming and maintaining relationships. John's early childhood was marked by inconsistency in his caregiver's responsiveness. His mother, who suffered from depression, was often emotionally unavailable, while his father was frequently absent due to work commitments. As a result, John developed an anxious, ambivalent attachment style. In his adult life, John found it difficult to trust others and was often anxious in relationships. He constantly sought reassurance from his partners, fearing abandonment. This anxiety led to conflicts and eventually the breakdown of several relationships. Understanding John's attachment style helped his therapist develop a treatment plan focused on building secure attachment through consistent and supportive interactions. Case Study 2. The role of parenting styles in academic achievement. Emily, a 16-year-old high school student, exhibited high academic performance and strong social skills. Her parents adopted an authoritative parenting style, providing her with clear expectations and support. They encouraged her to explore her interests, set high but achievable goals, and provided guidance and feedback. Emily's friend Sarah had permissive parents who were very affectionate but did not enforce rules or expectations. Sarah struggled with self-discipline and often procrastinated on her schoolwork. Despite being intelligent, her lack of structure at home contributed to lower academic performance and difficulties with time management. These case studies highlight the profound impact that early attachment experiences and parenting styles can have on an individual's development and behavior. Moving forward, let's explore the various influences on adolescent risk-taking behavior in greater detail. Adolescent risk-taking, a closer look. Risk-taking behavior during adolescence can be understood through a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors. The biological aspect involves the brain's development, particularly the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and impulse control, is not fully developed until the mid-20s. In contrast, the limbic system, which is involved in emotional processing and reward-seeking, matures earlier, leading to a heightened sensitivity to rewards and novelty during adolescence. Psychologically, adolescents are in a stage of seeking autonomy and identity. They are more likely to engage in behaviors that assert their independence and differentiate them from their parents. This quest for identity can sometimes lead to experimentation with risky behaviors such as substance use or sexual activity. Socially, peer influence plays a significant role in adolescent risk-taking. Adolescents are highly motivated by social acceptance and fear of rejection, which can lead them to conform to peer norms, even if those norms involve risky behaviors. For instance, an adolescent might start smoking because their friends do, even though they are aware of the health risks. Understanding these factors can help parents, educators, and policymakers develop strategies to mitigate risky behaviors and promote healthy decision-making among adolescents. For example, schools can implement programs that teach adolescents about the consequences of risky behaviors and provide them with skills to resist peer pressure. Let's delve deeper into the concept of identity formation during adolescence, as this is a crucial aspect of development. Identity formation in adolescence. Identity formation is a central task of adolescence, involving the exploration and integration of various aspects of the self. According to James Marsh's theory of identity status, there are 4 identity statuses that adolescents may experience: identity diffusion, identity foreclosure, identity moratorium, and identity achievement. Identity diffusion occurs when adolescents have not yet explored or committed to any identity options. They may feel apathetic or uncertain about their future and lack direction. For example, an adolescent in identity diffusion might not have any clear career aspirations or personal goals. Identity foreclosure happens when adolescents commit to an identity without exploring other options. This often occurs when they adopt the expectations or values of others, such as parents, without question. For instance, an adolescent might decide to become a doctor because their parents expect it, without considering whether this career aligns with their own interests and passions. Identity moratorium is a period of exploration without commitment. Adolescents in this status actively seek out and consider various identity options but have not yet made a decision. For example, a teenager might explore different political ideologies or try out various extracurricular activities to see what resonates with them. Identity achievement is reached when adolescents have explored different options and made a commitment to an identity. They have a clear sense of who they are and what they want to achieve. For instance, an adolescent who has explored various career paths and decided to pursue a career in environmental science because it aligns with their values and interests has achieved identity. Case Study 3. The Journey of Identity Exploration. Consider the case of Maria, a 17-year-old high school senior. Maria spent her early teenage years in identity diffusion, feeling uncertain about her future and lacking direction. However, during her junior year, she entered a period of identity moratorium, exploring different career options and participating in various school clubs and volunteer activities. Through this exploration, Maria discovered her passion for social justice and decided to pursue a career in law to advocate for marginalized communities. By her senior year, Maria had achieved a clear sense of identity, knowing who she was and what she wanted to accomplish. Understanding the process of identity formation can help parents and educators support adolescents in their journey of self-discovery. Encouraging exploration and providing a safe and supportive environment can facilitate healthy identity development. As we conclude our exploration of lifespan development, it's essential to recognize that human development is a complex and dynamic process influenced by a multitude of factors, including biological, psychological, and social elements. Understanding these factors can help us better support individuals at different stages of their lives and foster environments that promote healthy development.